Hello, hello. Welcome back. It's been a day or two since we started this album, so I hope I can remember where we were and what we were doing. I do know that since we last recorded, I used these stamps, and I may be using some more of them today. I don't know the name of them. What I do is number my things, and in the computer it tells me the name. But they're just darling stamps, and I used them with the frayed burlap distress ink, and just went through to kind of make the whole album more cohesive. I put some of the stitching stamps, you can see that better back here, the stitching, and what else? I know there's more. Here we go. Here's the mannequin, and I love this. It says sewing machine linen thread, so it's the end of a spool of thread. Here's some more of the stitching stamp. This is that round one that I just showed you. So I went through and just did some of that stamping. And I did add just a piece of washi here. I started to put more, and I said, you know, that's probably enough. If somebody wants to make notes here or something, they can. We were working on this page, and all I've done is add the yellow ribbon. I never planned for this book to have so much yellow, but it's turned out that's a good accent color for this piece. So I think I'm done with that one. And we'd already talked about this one. Let's see. And I'm going to leave these blank so that, you know, if someone wants to write in it, they can. I'd like to have a pocket right here. However, you know, this little envelope would be okay. This is, now let me show you, this is kind of crazy. This inside is a black and white because my printer that I told you I keep having trouble, it went black and white on me. So this is on yellow paper, but it was actually a grayed out version of a pocket. So what I did was I glued that paper with this paper. This is another kit coming up. This is actually the cover for a book. The kit is called Ladies Tea Party, but don't download it. If it's the same day that I've put this video up, don't get it yet. I want to change some things. But anyway, this was the cover for that, and so I said, okay, I'm going to glue those together and fold it into the pocket, or the envelope. So that's what I did. And this is, I think, a wildflower. I think it's called Wildflowers by Tim Holtz. This is a die, and again, it was just in the scraps, and some of the yellow ribbons. So maybe this could go over here. I think so. Do I want to glue it on though, or do I want to just paper clip it on there? I think I'll glue it on. So I did this also. This was one of the coffee dyed and stamped pieces that I'd done the other day, and I put it down the middle here. I was just going to put it straight, and then I said, gosh, you know, it could be a great belly band. So I glued it a little loosely. You just kind of, when you're gluing it, just sort of push the edges toward each other a little bit, and you'll get this nice space where you can put something in. And I'm trying to find these postcards, or what I thought I might stick in there. I don't see the other, you know, right now I have some that are printed on paper. Oh, here's some. Here we go. These are on cardstock. I'd rather put the cardstock ones in here. So there you go with that. Nice belly band. This could use some ribbon or something right here. I may come back to that. The other thing I've done, I have this little card, and it's got a pocket. This is really cute. This is from another kit. I think this one's the Emily kit. This is part of it. This little bitty program is part of it, and the tag. And so I had made this, I guess, when I was making an Emily journal, and never, either I didn't use it or I don't know why, but it was laying around. And I said, gosh, that's too cute. And then I noticed why, because there were 2 dots here. This is, what's that called? It's a type of paint. But I did the 2 dots, and there should have been a 3rd dot, and it's not there. So maybe it came off, maybe I didn't. I don't know what happened. So I just glued some ribbon there. And then I put this in by using a small scrap of paper, and I just folded it to make a hinge, because I was right in the center. This is the center of this book. And we really don't want this spine showing so much. It was a scrap piece of paper. I should have planned better. But it's okay just to cover it up. So I did this hinge. The back of the card says fantastic, so I think there's nothing wrong with having both sides of the card exposed. And then I was thinking up here, what I might do is put an envelope pocket. So there is a video, I think it's Paper Outpost, I'm not sure. Somebody has a really good video. I'm just gonna tell you real quickly how I did this. I took just an envelope from some sort of insurance or something that came in the mail. I folded it. I actually just folded it so that I could see the whole window, but it is 5.5 inches in length. So I folded it at the 5.5 inch mark. Then I put decorative paper, and this is the back of a greeting card, and on the back I did 1 long sheet of decorative paper, okay? And then here's the tricky part. In order to actually use this window, you have to cut a slit in your decorative paper and the next layer. Now, this transparent stuff comes up pretty far. It comes up to about here. So you're okay coming away from it and cutting, but when I did it, it's me. Mine was just ugly. I'm sure that I probably had glue that didn't dry or something. So I put this piece of paper over it just so you couldn't see that little mess. And then I framed it. It's always nice to frame this window with something. So I framed it out with the ribbon. And I had these, these little tags, and it happened that it was exactly the same length as this window. This is a particularly long one. So I've just adhered it to this paper. I want to say this is Marco, and the color is called Oyster. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little shimmer to it. It's my favorite paper in the world. So I glued it on there, punched a hole, added some ribbon, and there we have a nice tag to go in our window. Now, this is the top of the envelope. It's still open. So what you can do is you could stitch it here. In fact, I may run in there to the sewing machine and stitch that. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Then you've got, once you fold it, you've got a pocket here, and you've got a pocket back here. And I added, oh no, I didn't. I thought I added a pocket, but I didn't. This is just one of the picture frames from your kit, and I inked around it, and I added one of the tickets. This one is the elephant ride. There's also one that's just blank, and kind of framed it out with this really pretty piece of decorative paper. So you could have another pocket here, or when you stitch, if you stitched it down the middle and then you stitched them together, you could have even a 3rd pocket. I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to stitch here to make 2 separate pockets, and then I'm going to adhere it right here over that spine in the middle of signature 1 and signature 2. So I will leave that for a little bit later. I'm not taking the camera back and forth today. What else? It was bugging me to have the butterfly and only 1 flower, so I did put 1 more flower on there. I'm wondering what we can do on this page. You know what? This would be just perfect. This is kind of a pocket and kind of a little notepad. I had this leftover paper. I think it's some Stampin' Up! Paper from a few years ago, so I don't even know that they have this now. But I sort of hoarded it. I love this one. I took that, I cut up some sort of matching lightweight cardstock, stapled it in. Now, then you fold it, and don't fold it exactly into thirds or this won't work. What you want to do is fold, you know, a good length. Let's see how long that is. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about 4 1/4. So this is 4 1/4. So this is about 2.5 inches. That probably doesn't come out exactly right, but you get the idea. So you want to fold this one up, and it could have come all the way up to the line. That would have been fine. But what you want is this one, this top flap, you don't want it to fold all the way down. So I have glued on lace and ribbon and one of your little hearts from the kit, sort of like a button. If I could have found a button, we would have one there instead. On the front of this, I always like to do a pocket. So I did a pocket out of a stamped scrap piece of paper, and I've put in some of your journaling cards. So there's a good place to take notes or private notes. And I think I'm just going to put this right here. Yeah, right there. Whenever you're gluing things in, you always want to think about where they are. I moved it down because I didn't want this flap to open too far up. I moved it outward just a little because you don't want to glue these things in so far that you create a too wide of a spine area. So with it kind of in the center, I think we're good. And you could always put it even a little further out. This is something I did off camera, I think, and did not discuss it. This is a kind of like a money envelope, and I just made it up, really. And on the front, I had drawn an oval to remind myself that I had an oval die cut to put there. I couldn't find it, so I have put this little owl from my stash. He's cute. And I was thinking, I had these words, be gracious, be caring, be loving. I thought I would put this maybe on the inside here. Over here is this was an embossed piece that I was going to use for the front of a card. I have a lot of card making pieces and I'm just trying to reduce the stash. This is out of a notepad. It's a 6x6. I'm not sure where I got it. It's not labeled. So I cut that down. And this is a pocket now, but it was a journal card out of a kit, and it was laying around, so I said, gosh, I'll go ahead and make that into a pocket. And I was thinking, now I don't see my, this one's too big. Remember, I printed some too big, but then I have the smaller ones. I think I'll put the smaller tags in here. So wherever they are, smaller tags, or this kind of tag would work too. Like that. So that's a nice pocket. This one we did on camera. Still got these 2 pages and the back to go. So let's work on that now. All right, let me show you what I was about to do. This is one of the collage pages from your kit, and well, this is almost the whole page. I had the last piece. Anyway, I've cut it because I realized I didn't have a fold out in the kit, in the journal, and I always like to have a fold out. So there's a line, there's actually a fold line on this, so I folded it over and I cut off the bottom so that this page will be the same length as the page I'm going to put it on. And on the back side, I did not have anything printed out. You know, you're gonna get sick of me saying printer troubles, but printer troubles, and I didn't want to cut anything new, print anything new right now. So I'm just gonna use Mod Podge. You could also use some white glue, just thin down your white glue. And I'm going to collage this because, you know, I have all the time in the world to be doing this, right? What are you guys doing? We're all quarantined right now because of COVID-19. Are you doing a lot of crafts? I know quite a few people have told me they're bored and they aren't doing anything. Listen, I'm thrilled. I get to stay home and do what I like to do. So anyway, these are all just scraps from your kit. If I had glued one of the, I don't know if I said this already, if I had glued one of the other papers on the back, like this one, I haven't used this one yet, but it's on the cardstock, so 2 sheets of cardstock, pretty heavy. So that's why I'm just gonna go ahead and collage this out, and it won't be as thick. Alrighty, there's my collage. I'm gonna let that dry and I'll come back.